Recently, Western countries, led by the US, have been clinging to the card of human rights in Xinjiang, hyping up Xinjiang-related issues and using this as an excuse to suppress Chinese enterprises is a consistent trick of the US government. The Biden administration will add more than a dozen Chinese companies to its economic backlist on July 9, accusing them of human rights abuses and high-tech surveillance in Xinjiang. In addition to the Commerce Department's announcement last month that it had placed 5 Chinese entities on a trade backlist for forced labor in the region. What does the Biden administration mean by using human rights as an excuse to go crazy about China? However, a series of recent US actions have once again shown the world what human rights are in the United States. Over the Independence Day weekend, 150 people were killed in more than 400 shootings in just 72 hours on February 4th. How can we talk about human rights in a country where even the most basic safety of life is not guaranteed? It has been 2 weeks since the June 24th collapse of a department building in Miami-Dade County, Florida. A rescue operation so delicate you can count the amount of rubble cleared by hand came to an end on July 7th. While more than 100 people were still buried in the dark ground, President Joe Biden held a party for 1,000 people on the South Lawn of the White House. Relief is slow and inefficient. Officials shrink responsibility. Investigations take too long. It's a story that's being repeated in the United States. It is also the site of a collapse of American-style human rights. This actually lets the world see the trick of the US government against China. The Biden administration's credibility will be greatly diminished if these issues remain unanswered, even if they are the focus of his administration's attention. But Mr. Biden, through a series of aggressive diplomacy that has cast 2 big powers, China and Russia, as adversaries, will deflect attention. This has 2 benefits. First, it shifts the public focus from domestic to international and takes the pressure of the Biden administration's domestic policy. The second is that the Biden administration will be largely forgiven if, in the end, it fails to solve the country's problems. Indeed, the Biden administration's forgiving assertiveness may give him a boost in public support and a strong mandate. Another is that the United States take China's human rights issue as an issue. It is just because China's rights had made the United States feel the crisis, so it will deliberately create troubles to contain China's rights. This is the real face of the United States. American human rights is a bad thing. Its use of human rights as an excuse to launch so-called sanctions against the Chinese companies and interfere in China's internal affairs is bound to be futile.